Hey guys, I'm Allison. I'm the Pampered Wife. I have another what I've been wearing this week makeup review of makeup currently in my collection that I've been wearing. I'm back to not feeling so great, but I'm COVID negative, so I should be better. Anyway, I've got a full face to go over. I'm going to tell you how it wore, what I liked, what I didn't like. So let's go ahead and jump in. First off, I really wanted to try out the Kjaer Weis, the Beautiful Tint. I got this recently and I got the shade M1. I talked about it in a recent purchases video that I'll link down below. And I always link every product I talk about also in the description box below. It's not affiliate, it's just for your information. So like I said, I have the shade M1. This is supposed to be a moisturizer, a tinted moisturizer basically, with properties that are good for your skin. It's supposed to go over Kjaer Weis's Beautiful Oil, I think it's called. That being said, I found this incredibly hard to wear as a foundation, which is how I see people wearing it. I wear sunscreen every day, so I'm never gonna be putting something tinted just as a moisturizer unless it's at night, and then I'm not gonna use something tinted. First, let me show you. It's a nice texture. It feels really nice to rub in. It's light, feels airy, almost whipped. It's emollient, there's no tugging, it spreads out nicely. The shade is a pretty good match for me, and as you rub it in, it sort of almost gets tacky, and that's how you know you spread it as far as you can. My issue was it stayed on top of my skin. No matter what I had under it, it pretty much just sat on top of my skin. You could always see it. I don't know that you could see it on camera. I had a really hard time focusing on my hand. I'll try to zoom in so you can see. It has a beautiful skin-like sheen. I love the scent of Kjaer Weis's products, but it was just really difficult to wear. It only wore over certain sunscreens, which I don't care to spend time thinking that hard about my morning routine. I thought a tinted moisturizer would be especially easy. I did try wearing this on its own just in the evening to see how it did without something under it. It did much better on top of an oil, and it did better on top of an oilier or I guess more moisturizing, for lack of a better description, sunscreen. The one it worked on top of best was Saie. Was it the Slip Tint? I can't remember the name of the particular sunscreen, not their tinted version, just the Saie SPF that's really dewy. It did not work well on top of the Tula Mineral SPF. It pilled. It did not work well on top of my Le Prunier. Couldn't think of that. Le Prunier sunscreen that has a gorgeous lightweight texture. It just, what else did I try? I don't know what else I tried. It just was very finicky, very difficult. And if I rubbed it in past where it started to feel tacky, it would totally pick up everything under it and just pill and scrape off. As far as how it wore fine. It looked nice. I'm gonna keep trying it another time, but not right now. I'm so ready to move on from it because it was just really frustrating and disappointing. Let us know in the comment section down below if you've tried this, if you've been wearing it, what you think of it. I've seen so many great reviews about it. I just don't understand what I'm doing differently that is making it not work, or what other people are doing that is making it work. I don't know. For concealer this week, I've been using the Tarte C Power Flex in the shade, I want to say N25, if that's a thing. Light, medium, neutral. It's supposed to be full coverage. I don't think it's full coverage, but it is nice. When my skin is moisturized, or when my under eyes are moisturized, I find that I can wear almost any concealer. Otherwise, I have a really difficult time. This is what this shade looks like. And I found the best way was just to tap it in with my finger, and that wouldn't move too much of the product. I could spread it out, but that would just shear it out too much. As you can see, it just gives light coverage, it blurs, it wore nicely. I have no complaints about this. It's supposed to be moisturizing. I found it to be a thinner, comfortable, easy to wear concealer. I didn't find it particularly moisturizing though, but that's just me. Let's do eyes. I was wearing the Fitglow like multi-use powders. It comes in this refillable packaging made from recycled plastic. It has a nice large mirror, which I do love. And well, I got 3 shades plus a blush. What I'll say about these is you don't need to run out and buy them. Each one is a different finish and each one is a different texture. This one, and I'll put the shades on the screen, but this is the palest, lightest shade I could find. It's too yellowy and too close to my skin tone to be brightening. This just didn't show up on me. It wasn't brightening, and really, it's pointless. I wish I never got it. This one, I thought I could multi-use as a contour, which I kind of can. It's just not the best shade for that. It's not the easiest to spread out, and that's mostly why it can kind of fade away, but it doesn't really blend. So to use it on my face as a contour, I find it stuck in places. I have no lotion on, by the way. This is dry skin, so you really would think that it would just spread out, but no. So I found that one difficult to work with. And then this one is a bronze and it has shimmer to it. This is the most buttery or softest of the 3 that I'm talking about. It's also the most pigmented. This was my favorite to work with, but it's also the deepest, like most pigmented. Again, it can be sticky. So if I wanted to use it as a bronzer, it just really deposited a lot and I had to work quite a bit to spread it around and make it do what I wanted to do. It did have a nice reflective quality to it, so it also acted as a highlighter, and on my eyes it did keep the shimmer going all day as well. I feel like these faded quite a bit. I would more use my Victoria Beckham lid luster in the shade Chiffon. The packaging is so pretty. I also went over this fairly recently in a recent purchases. I'll try to link that video. This is a pressed, sort of creamy-ish product. It's definitely not a cream to powder. It's more of a pressed cream, but it's quite hard. Like it doesn't melt under your fingers at all. It almost feels like you're touching a powder, but it's beautiful. It has a gorgeous sheen, wears really well. I used it as a topper to brighten up, especially that pale shade that doesn't show up on me at all. Isn't that gorgeous? It's just a champagne shimmer. The more you put on, the more metallic it looks. Otherwise it can just be sparkly if you use a very light hand with it. It pretty much stays in place. I had practically no fallout. Here, I'll show you on my finger now. You can see that I've wiped it off. It really is just sheer and sparkly, or again, you can do a heavier layer and make it just more of a champagne all over the lid, like it says lid luster. My camera has been falling. Sorry about that. I'll try to keep a better eye on the camera and what it's doing. I'm looking in the frame, have it up a little bit high in case it starts to fall again. Today's just one of those days. What happened is I woke up in plenty of time, took my dog for a walk. I was so proud of myself. Went out to brunch, had one Bloody Mary, and it just tanked me. I had to come home and lie down for like 2 hours. One Bloody Mary. This is what happens when you get sick and don't drink for weeks. Anyway, it took me out, and now I've been tired and headachy. My makeup looks really bad. I feel like I'm not communicating well. My hair is a whole other mess. I'm getting it colored and cut in 2 days, thankfully. Anyway, I do recommend this Victoria Beckham Lid Luster. This I absolutely loved. I enjoyed wearing it. It was just a bit too much for every day, you know, working in the yard, running groceries, cooking and cleaning. Mascara, I went in with the Kjaer Weis mascara. This is supposed to be volumizing. Impossible mascara. I don't know, guys. I find it to be insanely wet. I actually have never had to do this with a mascara before, where I actually have to scrape it off before I use it. I've had eyebrow products like that, but not a mascara. Can you see that? And then the wand, one side is flat, but like flat, like nothing sticking up, no bristles that I can see. And then this side, when you turn it on its side, it has bristles. It's very weird. One side is supposed to be volumizing, the other side's supposed to be lengthening. When I finally figured out how to use it, it was okay. The side with bristles, I think, was lengthening, and then the side with basically nothing, it just globbed on the mascara, and so then that was more volumizing. You couldn't just turn it around. Like usually when I apply mascara, I'll kind of close my eye as I'm applying it and twist the wand just to fully coat the lashes. You can't do that with this. So I had to think about it. I had to look at it and think about it. I don't want to think that hard. On top of which, it wore horribly. Absolutely smudged all under my eye like 2 hours later, and as the day went on, it got worse. I don't know, guys. Maybe as it dries out, it'll be better. People love this too. Is it me? Did I have an off week, or am I doing something wrong with these products? And this is refillable. I'd really love to love it because now I have the packaging. And I like the packaging, it's pretty. Lacquered red. I did try to wear that mascara over the Fitglow Plum Lash Primer. I'm trying to figure out how to fit this in my routine. I thought maybe the primer would help hold it on or help it look better. No. I gotta try this with the Fitglow mascara, which I do have it, but I used to love their mascara, so we'll see how this performs with their mascara when I finally open it. For brows, I was using my new Mineral Fusion brow pencil in dark brown. It's a retractable brow pencil. It worked fine. One end is a very firm bristle spoolie, and the other end is a twist up brow pencil. It sort of looks like the Plume brow pencil. It's thin and round, but it's much harder than the Plume. So I thought it was a good shade. It wore nicely. Nothing bad to say about it. I still prefer the PYT pencil just because it's not as stiff and hard, and I think I like the shade a little bit better. This one's a little cool for my taste, but I don't have anything bad to say about it. And I did notice it does say brush right here and pencil right here. Of course, you have to have good eyes to see that, to tell them apart. I just end up pulling off both ends. I use both ends anyway when I use a brow pencil, so that really isn't that annoying that you can't tell them apart. To hold my brows, I was using the Saie Brow Butter, I believe it's called. I have the shade medium brown. This is okay. I sometimes like it, sometimes don't. It's definitely more natural. It definitely is more of a suggestion than an emphatic command to your brows. Like, it suggests how they should be and guides them, but it's not like a firm holding kind of product. It comes out, I always think it's gonna be this end that has the spoolie, but it's this end. It has the teeniest little bristles and deposits little color, but it's great on a natural looking day. And since I was already coloring in my brows with the Mineral Fusion brow pencil, this was just fine. I did use my new Kjaer Weis eye pencil in the shade Bright. I typically rely on a nude pencil every day in my waterline to brighten my eyes, also in the inner corners, to brighten up the darkness that I have there. I have a lot of allergies. This is more pink than it is white or beige. It is showing up more white, but I hope you can see the pink to it. Compared to my Victoria Beckham, it's a lot more beige or pink as opposed to brightening and lightening and whitening. It was fine. It's not my favorite. The Victoria Beckham is far better. That one, the Victoria Beckham just glides on so smoothly. You can put it all over your face and tap it in so much easier. This is fine. I just, since I have something I like better, I would recommend that one. I do see a difference between them, and I'm just not as crazy about this pinkish skin tone shade as I am the Victoria Beckham shade. I know these are all mediocre reviews. Like, Well, that's not true. I did love the Victoria Beckham Lid Lustre. Okay, for blush, I wore the Lawless Vintage Love. I really like the case, the matte black. It's light, but it has a mirror, which is really useful. It does close magnetically and stays closed. This shade I thought was cooler than it is, so it's actually worked out to be a great shade for me in summer. It's really pressed. Like, it's a really pressed powder. Like hardly any comes off on my finger when I rub it in. So I don't think you'll go through this too quickly. But let me show you the shade here. And it's just a dusty rose, but it wore nicely with everything. It wears well, you can build it up. It's not the most pigmented, so I would find myself patting it on and patting it on and patting it on. But I would rather have a blush that I build up than one that is immediately too much out of the gate. Speaking of which, we can talk about the blush in the Fitglow palette that I got. It's the shade Go, and it is a very, very pale, cool tone. I, again, wish I got a different shade. It doesn't go with the eyeshadows I got, the warmer tone eyeshadows. It was not a good choice. It doesn't show up on my face. Maybe I could use it on my eyes. I don't typically like pink on my eyes, although I am a little pink today. The Lawless wore well. I have nothing bad to say about it. I like it. Instead of a bronzer this week, what I was wearing was the Jones Road lip, I don't know what they call it. It's her lip gloss. It is very minty. If you don't like mint, you won't like this. It's also very oily and greasy. I actually find myself shaking it, which I have never done with a lip product like this. Oh, this is the shade Nude Beige. And I found that it was lovely on my cheeks. It does have a squeeze top. I don't put it right on my face from this. I would take a teeny bit. Like, that's plenty. And let me show you how nice this was. Isn't that pretty? It wore beautifully on my cheeks. On my lips, I have to reapply it, I mean, like every 15 minutes, and the color's fine. But on my cheeks, it's like a highlighter and a bronzer, and it wore beautifully. I'm gonna put it on the other cheek now so I'm even. So now I have it on both cheeks. I think it looks really pretty. I finally found a use for this thing. I don't have to get rid of it. And just keep that in mind for products that maybe you don't like a certain way. You can always try them a different way, although don't use this on your eyes because of the essential oils in it and the mint. That wouldn't be good on eyes. But I'm glad I was able to repurpose it. I'm kind of loving it on the cheeks. That worked really well for me. And then I would apply that first, and then I would go in with the Lawless more in the apples of my cheek. And the two shades looked really nice together. For lips, I was really just wearing my Fitglow lip liner in the shade Nude. I would just kind of spread it out and put a sheer gloss over it. I just wasn't doing a lot with lips. I was so frustrated with my eyes. Oh, if I didn't wear the Jones Road on my cheeks and I did want a highlighter, I used the Saie Glowy Super Gel in Star Glow. The only hard part about this is just pumping out the teeniest bit, because otherwise too much comes out. Oh wow, I did a good job. This is stunning. It is a subtle glowy lip from within. It's very thin, it's water-based, it has a beautiful light scent that, dissipates. Look at that. It is so pretty. And this shade at least just blends with my skin tone. How natural and just glowy it is. Like, it's so pretty. This is a beautiful product. And it dries down completely, not at all sticky or tacky. So in sum, I did not love this week's makeup. I found the Kjaer Weis Beautiful Tint very, very difficult to use. I do like my Tarte Power Flex concealer. It's not the best, it's not the worst, but it wears well and is a light texture and does some brightening, which is what I'm looking for. I would pass on all of the Fitglow eyeshadow and cheek products until they come out with new shades maybe, or unless you just really love the company and don't mind finicky powders that all perform differently, wear differently, apply differently, and look different. The Victoria Beckham Lid Lustre, if I had a reason to wear more shimmers, I would buy just about every shade of this. It's gorgeous, it's simple to use. I applied it with my fingers. It's beautiful. I have nothing bad to say about it, and super fun. The Lawless blush is a perfectly good blush. You can get it at Sephora. I enjoy the packaging, and the shade Vintage Love, I thought it was Vintage Rose. Vintage Love I find perfect for me in summer. I prefer cooler tones, and on me this one is just warm enough that it works in summer with the more bronzier looks. The Mineral Fusion Brow Pencil, perfectly fine. The Kjaer Weis Eye Brightener Eyeliner, perfectly fine, just not my favorite because I found something better. The Saie Brow Butter, great if you love a natural look with a gentle hold on your brows. The Jones Road Lip Gloss, terrible as a lip gloss, really great as a cheek product. Highlighters, you know, dewy cheek product. And I shear it out quite a bit, as you saw. So my face just feels moisturized, like nothing is sticking to it. It's not sticky, and the color lasts and lasts on my face, not on my lips. Last but not least, the Saie Glow. Well, they have more than one highlighter, so let me get the name right. Glowy Super Gel. Love, love, love. I always want to find more ways and times to use it. It's a light formula. It's beautiful. It wears nicely, natural looking, and I also use it on the inner corner of my eyes sometimes. I love this. This is a beautiful product. I think that's everything in the Fitglow lip liner in the shade Nude. Very nice. It is creamy and comfortable, and it's vegan if that matters to you. I guess some lip liners are a little bit drier and, you know, harder to apply or not as comfortable, and so this is comfortable and easy to use, and the other end has this nice lip brush which you can use. So that is my makeup in review. I hope this was helpful, not too discombobulated. I think I say that at the end of every video too. Let me know what you think of these products, if you've tried them or have a suggestion for me. Oh, the candle du jour. Oh, I'm loving this. Is by Le Labo, and it's Laurier 62, which is basically bay leaf. It's beautiful. If you like diptyque, you may want to check out Le Labo. This is a votive size. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up. I'd love to have you subscribe. And as always, I hope you find some time to pamper yourself today. Bye.